It's another episode of the Fearless and Fabulous podcast. And today I am so stoked. I'm wearing pink in her honor. It is the amazing pageant girl herself. It is Maria Giorlando. She is a force to be reckoned with. And I'm so excited to have you on today, Maria. Say hi.
Hello, everyone, fearless and fabulous listeners. I am so happy to be here. Melanie and I have known each other for over, I believe, a year and a half now. And
Yeah.
so seeing her launch and do this, I'm just so proud and so honored to be a guest.
Well, thank you so much. So, full disclosure, Maria is my own pageant coach, but Maria, you become so much more than a pageant coach to me. You really become a life coach. And as someone who has been a teacher and director, I've always been in leadership roles. I found that I needed someone to help lead me, to help me break through my own area and to make my own history. So, why don't you just give us a brief introduction about yourself and then let's dive into this wonderful month we're coming into, Women's History Month.
Amazing. Sounds so good. So, hello, everybody. For those of you who do or do not know me, my name is Maria. Some of you might follow me on my social media as the Pageant Gal. I am a full-time international pageant coach, which we will also be talking about. I'm also a registered nurse, but in the last year, I have been able to transition from working full-time to being in business full-time for myself. And that would not be without the 8 years of incredible pageant experience that I've had. I say I started competing at 21 when I had this epiphany that I was meant for so much more in my life. And I didn't know what that inner purpose or that outer significance looked like until I saw the opening for my first pageant, which led me on a beautiful 5 year journey to traveling around the world, winning 4 titles, including Miss Canada, an international title. And now I've really been able to grow this brand and community called the Pageant Gals. And as the coach, the Pageant Gal myself, and the way that I do things in my coaching is that it's not just interview and runway. We really help you focus on becoming the queen of your life, building a life that you're proud and happy to live and wake up to. And of course, having a really standout performance where you know who you are and what you stand for so that you can go on and win the crown and do these incredible things. So that is a little bit about me in a nutshell. And this year, fun fact, I'm also getting married. So I'm flexing my ring so much more. I'm in my fiance era.
That is just so incredible, Maria. She's just rattling off, oh, yes, I've won so many titles in this amount of time, and I built this business, and I'm getting married. Yeah, she is fully in her queen era. And that's what this episode really means a lot to me because I think so many women, they tend to downplay a lot of what they do and what they want to achieve. Would you agree with that?
100%. Even for the women that do decide they want to achieve more, it takes a lot to really put ourselves on our own pedestal. And that doesn't mean that you're full of yourself or anything, but to be the queen of your own life, to really like dream and say, this is my life. Why can't I live and have so much purpose and energy and vibrancy to the way I go about my day? I feel like it's almost shamed or looked
Hmm.
down upon in society. So we do that ourselves. We don't even like give ourselves the spotlight. And that's really what I focus on doing is helping women put the spotlight back on themselves and be proud of the life that you get to live wherever it is that it takes you.
I totally agree with that. And I just want your take on this. Why do you think there's this sense of shame put around women giving themselves props for standing out, for taking up space? Why do you think that is, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think it highlights the fact that people are insecure and not living that way. And I remember experiencing this even, growing up and then having to decide what I wanted to do with my career. The way that society, at least in, Canada and the US, which is where you and I are from, it really moves people into this like standard matrix status quo where you go to school, you get a job, you work,
Hmm.
and that's it. And sometimes when we see somebody who's breaking out of that status quo, even though it's for the betterment of them, the people around them, their community, it feels scary because it's like, oh, you're not doing what everybody else is doing, so you're bad, you're wrong. But really, what it is it highlights this idea that maybe we want that too. Maybe if we didn't feel like we had to follow the status quo and doing the things we think we have to do just because everyone else around us is doing it, like maybe we would also dare to dream bigger and we would be in this fearless pursuit of what it is that we want to be doing, whether it's with your career, in pageantry, or in life. So I think it's very triggering for some people to see someone living life on their own terms, probably because they don't feel like they're living theirs.
I think you nailed it right there. There's a saying that Katharine Hepburn said is that well-behaved women seldom make history.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you nailed it when they're saying that it is triggering for them when they're seeing a woman who is standing on her own 2 feet, making her own way, making her own choices. And that's how women make history. They are not following the norm. And in your case, what inspires me so much is that you went to school to become a nurse, which, most people would say that's a solid job, that's a solid career, and it's very noble as well. Someone who wants to take care of others. But there was something inside you that said, this isn't all me. This isn't all I want to do. What was it that made you decide to take that leap from that full-time position into launching your own pageant coaching career?
Yeah, I actually just shared this on our 3-day challenge that we had, that I've known since I was like 16 years old that I was not meant to work for somebody else. And I would tell this to my teachers, my peers, my parents, and say that I don't see myself working a set amount of hours. I don't see myself going to a place. But that was so not normal for them to hear and to think. So they just said, oh, well, you're going to go in the medical field because you're good at sciences and math. So I've always known that I was not meant to fit in this box of having one role and going to one place and working for somebody else. But again, I felt like I didn't know what else I should do. And so it didn't make sense to not do anything. So I pursued nursing and I'm so happy I did. And I hope that people understand that if you do not know what you want to do, that's not an excuse not to do anything. Like you
Right.
still should develop skills. You should still get things on your resume and resources that can help you, because I say going through nursing helped me find my purpose in entrepreneurship and in pageantry. I would have never started a business at 18 years old. I didn't even know pageants like existed then, or that I could have a full-time career. And it was in 2019. I had just finished my title of Miss Canada. I was coming to an end on my reign, and a friend had reached out and asked me to coach her for her competition. I had no coaching experience. I knew that I had won a couple titles, so I figured I'm going to take her through what I do to prepare, and we're
Mhm.
going to see if that'll help her out. And it did. After a 7-year dry streak of never placing, she placed in the top 5 at her national competition. So not only was it a success for her, but I absolutely loved it. And it didn't take long for me to be sharing about the different wins that my local friends were having before people across the country started to hire me. And then those women started to do very, very well. And though it took me a couple of years to really realize, like, hey, this could easily replace my full-time income. And then slowly, as I got more into pageantry, I learned that there are full-time coaches out there. There are so many around the world. You just have to build up your brand and make yourself known and get the clientele. And there's no reason why it can't be a full-time job. So it was really coming to my own realization that this can actually be my full-time job. And I don't have to be, just set with the job that I had or the career that I had chosen, which I thought I had to do at one point. I thought, well, I'm a nurse. I'm just going to be a nurse. That's totally fine. But it was when I realized I could do something I love, get paid well for it, and not settle for what I thought I had to be doing. That I was like, I don't have to prove this to anybody else. I just have to go and do it and show people it's possible. And that's exactly what I did, though it took a few more years, than just getting right out of school to do it. I'm living proof that it's possible and I'm doing it now.
That is so inspirational. You have to actually thank that woman who reached out to you to coach, right?
All
Because
the time. Kaylee Jackson, she knows it. She knows it every time.
she just said, "Hey, what did you do? I need some help." And you just kind of stumbled into this new purpose in your life. And I find that so interesting to me, Maria, because that's similar to what has happened with my life. I have a performance background and worked as an actor for a number of years, but I didn't really realize that I was a natural teacher. And when I started doing my own workshops and helping to teach kids, it just felt so natural to me, like it was the perfect fit. And more I did it, the more people asked, "Hey, can you lead this and can you do that?" It's the universe has an interesting way of showing you who you are. And I find that for you, that woman who just said, "I just need some help," and she finally and she placed, and then others started following as well. It's like, "Here, this is what you're supposed to do. This is what you've been dreaming of." And what I'm
Mhm.
really interested in, because I have heard this from my fellow theater friends, that when they want to pursue this type of career, which isn't quote unquote traditional, that people are very nervous for you, that they almost try and talk you out of it. Did you ever experience any of that?
Sure did. Not only was telling my parents the biggest thing about it, I think just talking to other people, I really shied away from. I remember one time when I was, working at a bar part-time as I was funding all of my pageant efforts, I had one of my clinical instructors from nursing come in and she was like, "Oh, I heard you quit nursing to do pageants." And I felt so immediately like embarrassed and ashamed. And I was like, "No, I'm still doing nursing." And obviously, I was bartending, nursing, and coaching. So you do the math. I was a busy woman at the time, but I took a lot of shame with it. And slowly, as I started to realize, like those people don't know, like they don't get it, they don't realize, like they only know what they know. And then eventually, I think the biggest people, like I said, that I had to talk to about it were my parents who supported me 100% in nursing when it came to funding my education, having to tell them, like, thank you so much, but this is not going to be the thing I have to do and I want to do for forever. It was hard for them to understand.
Yeah.
And I often say to them, like, I didn't have to, in that moment, tell them, like, this is exactly how I'm going to do it. But it was more of the fact that if you trust me and you know that I've got a good head on my shoulders and that you raised me in a way where I'm always going to make sure that I'm okay, that I'm not struggling, that I will take care of myself and I will make ends meet. Like, you don't have to know how it's going to happen, but just trust me. You don't have to believe in the dream, but you've got to trust me. And now they are my two biggest supporters, to the point where they're the ones watching all of the lives that I'm doing, all of the trainings, showing me like every single milestone with the amount of followers that I have. So there was pushback and it is scary, it is uncertain for people, but it was the bigger picture that I would paint for them, saying that, do you want me to be unhappy and run down? First of all, I was happy and run down in my mid 20s, as most nurses are. But I'm like, do you want me to be 40, tired, run down? Now I'm a mom. Now I'm like wishing that I would have taken this opportunity when I was younger, because I'm like, that's really what it's going to look like. And it's going to cause strain and it's going to be me unbearable to be around, because I'm going to be this whole grump who didn't take on her dreams when she could have. So that was what it looked like. And I'm sure that there were more people, but to me, those were the two people I cared the most about. Carlos has always been supportive. My fiance has always been supportive of this. It was the two people who birthed me that I had to have like this growth with. And it's amazing now. It's better than I could have ever imagined, but it wasn't always that way.
That's fantastic, that you have parents who they were like, "Okay, all right, we'll
Yeah.
trust you." But, being parents, they're going to be nervous. They're going to be worried for you. And that's wonderful that they could see the potential. And now they're your biggest fans. And with Carlos, especially being so on board with you, you guys are couples goals for sure. I'm very blessed the same way with my husband, Clark. You know this, but I just finished a position where I spent a full year feeling just like that, feeling very run down, feeling not appreciated, feeling like I was having to just get through the day. And, while I'm trying to pursue my pageant goals, where I almost had to like flip a switch, between I gotta get through this. And now like, all right, I'm gonna do this. I have this planned, and just it was really becoming a huge, huge effort on my end. But soon as I let that go and I, made it clear to Clark that you are not going to have the wife that you deserve to have if I continue this way, he got it. Like he completely got it and was very supportive of me when I made that decision. And now I'm able to step fully into who I am. And that's the most freeing feeling of all. So I want to ask you, what is your definition of being fearless and fabulous?
My definition of being fearless and fabulous is having a dream that you are willing to pursue all in. So many women want to be fearless, but they don't know in pursuit of what. And that's why, when I coach women, we always have to know where we're going. Because if
Mhm.
we don't know where we're going, any path is going to get us there or not. But when you have a vision, like when you, first of all, when you dare to dream, like you have to be fearless in your dreams. Otherwise, you're just going to be dreaming about, getting a cup of coffee in the morning, which isn't going to overcome any fear. But to have this dream that it's going to require you to go on an adventure with yourself externally. It's going to require you to meet challenges and overcome obstacles immediately in the process of setting a vision that lights your soul on fire, whether it's winning a pageant, quitting a job you don't like to get one that you do, or starting a business, or working on your health, whatever it is. It's got to be something that lights you up, and it's got to be something that scares you a little bit. But that's the next part, is that you're willing to go on that journey, that you said it and you said, you know what? I am saying yes to this. It's one thing to have a calling in life, to have a vision. It's another thing to actually pursue it. So that's my definition of being fearless and fabulous. One, ignite the vision in your soul. And then two, have the courage to pursue it and know that no matter what challenges come up along the way, whether it becomes hard or tired or anything that comes up, as challenges will arise because
Mhm.
we never expect the journey to be easy, you know that you're all in. You're committed to the end, to the challenges, to the easy parts, to the fun, to all of it, because you know what's on the other side of that vision.
I think that is so beautifully put because I think it's very easy to say that, yes, I'm fearless, I'm fabulous. It's very easy to start something, but it's not easy to keep it going when things are not going your way. I made a big decision yesterday and I decide, okay, if I'm going to be truly be fearless and fabulous, I need to put myself out there even more and reach out to some guests who I admire. So I was feeling my Cheerios yesterday, Maria. I don't know what I ate or what I did, but I want to go for it. So I reached out to three people who I really admire, who I feel really align with my values, and one of them said yes. One of them said yes. I'm not going to say who she is right now, but it's someone who has made some big moves in the pageant industry. And I'm so excited she's going to be a guest here. Two of them have not said no yet, but they know that I've asked. So it just goes to show that you're never going to move ahead if you don't at least try, if you don't ignite that vision, like you say. So when
Mhm.
you were building this business, how did you get through those rougher times when you weren't getting so many people watching your lives or people were ghosting you? Like what kept you going?
What kept me going, in all honesty, was investing in mentorship and to be in spaces with other women who were also on the same journey. So, ever since 2021, I've been in some form of coaching with either a mentor or a group. And that's been huge to not only realize that, one, there are other people who have similar dreams to me who I can talk to about the dreams that I have and normalize these big, outrageous actions that most people think are crazy and scary, other people normalize. But two, to have a mentor to go to and ask these questions to and talk to them about the challenges, knowing that they have faced them along the way and that they can support me in what I'm going through. I say that my coaching, like my own personal work to do, is mine to do. It's not mine to go to someone for free to ask for help, or it's not mine to go to YouTube and see if YouTube or Google has the answer. If this is the journey I want to walk and I don't want to do it alone and figure it out on my own, I'm going to invest to work with people who have already created the results that I desire to have, and to be in spaces with other women who are doing the exact same thing, because it normalizes the journey and it helps you be able to commit in a different way. And also just to be able to surround yourself with other people doing it in different ways. So, it's not this is the right way, this is the secret. It's she's doing it her way like this, and I'm doing it my way like this. And we get to both learn and expand one another. So that has been huge and pivotal. And a huge other element of being fearless, like being fearless in investing in yourself, which is a huge thing as well, that requires, financial commitment as well, not just your time and energy, but That's been a huge piece of it as well. And I say I will never personally be out of mentorship. Like as long as I am in this industry, I will always have some type of mentorship to go to and learn, because whether it's direct coaching or learning new skills and elevating my skills, my inner work is not done. And that's what it would be like if I stopped investing in myself, is like, oh, well, I'm done. I don't need any help. And I don't just want help for the things that are good. I also want to make sure I have the support when times get difficult. So that's been my journey. And I do invest a lot into coaching, and it's something that's also helped me be able to grow and have the business and keep growing the business as well.
And that's something that I had to come to terms with too, is you can only get so much out of free advice, right? You really need to have that person who is going to help pull you to the next level. And I'm so glad that I invested with you as my coach, because I definitely can see and feel a difference in how I approach things. And not just about pageantry, but my life, uh, just overall. Like I am seeing so much more clearly about what I want to do and what's left, that I want to achieve. I'm 53. I'm going to be 54 this year. And I know for a lot of women, they tend to feel that, well, I've kind of had my life, that I'm just kind of on the downside now. And I want to challenge women that no, you're not done. There's still more you can do. There's so much more you can achieve, and that's what I want to be able to show up for other women who are my age bracket and more.
Mhm.
In
It's
the world of
incredible.
pageantry, though, being older isn't always rewarded. And I want to get your take on, how can the pageant industry embrace having more women who are older title holders?
So first, I want to say that the nursing work that I do is end of life care. So I'm a palliative care nurse, and I work with people who are 90, 100, 105 years old. So if you're reaching 50, you might have a whole other half of your life to live, and you get to
Right,
decide how that looks. Not always is it just you get to a certain age and you're done and you're sick and that's all. You can still have a whole other life to live. Imagine what that could look like. The
right.
second thing that we can be doing is we need to create more inclusive spaces for women who are of different ages. The competition that I'm competing in, you know this, before I get married, I'm doing one more pageant. Not to say that there won't be more after that, but the system itself is really marketing and advocating for women over the age of 25 and over the age of 40. And in fact, not only are they just advocating and saying that they have an open age limit, but they've actually gone the extra step and recruited women. That we have one woman competing, she's 79 years old. So
Yes.
not only do we need to create the spaces, but we need to bring those women in. We need to share the value for them and the benefit, not just open up the spaces and say, well, if you want it, come get it, but bring those opportunities and really work on our marketing and bringing in those types of women who will benefit from these experience, and saying that not only are we just opening up because we want more delegates, but we want to show that beauty leadership, it has no age limit to it. So that's something that makes me really proud about being in the Ms. and Mrs. Regional Canada pageant. But we've also seen pageants like Miss Universe open up the age limit, which is the first step. Now, do I
Right.
expect Miss Universe or Miss USA to be 50 years old by tomorrow? No, but it is a step in the right direction.
Absolutely. And that excites me to hear that, Maria, that they are actually actively recruiting older
Mhm.
women to be part of your system. And that's something that the system I'm competing in, Miss Voluptuous, they have no age ceiling. And I know that I am the oldest competitor, and I really want to see more women my age and older come into that system as well. And I think with Miss Universe, what I hope that they will do in terms of making history is it won't be like this one and done type of thing. They just had a plus size contestant make the finals, right? I hope that wasn't just, oh, here's inclusion, and then they go back to the same old, same old. I'm hoping that'll be the same with, having older women. And that's what I really hope that all pageant systems will take notice, because that is how women are brought more to the table. That's how they are being seen. They are being heard. They are actually part of a system that's been locking them out for so long. Maria, where can we find you on social media? Like, where can women find you and maybe hire you or just enjoy what your content has to offer?
Yes, come and learn how to be the queen of your life and win the crown. So I am the Pageant Gal on Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, and Facebook. We also have a free Facebook community called the Pageant Gal Queendom. So if you do follow me on Instagram, message me the word Facebook group or send me the link for the Facebook group. We'd love to have you. We have over 400 women inside who are learning about themselves, building their skills and confidence, and I'm always active on social media. But if your goal is to win the crown, the best place to start is our Win the Crown membership, which is our 3-month membership where you get accountability, actions, and trainings every single month to build the skills, the mindset of a title holder. So that is where you can find me, and I would love to have you in our Pageant Gal community.
And I can totally vouch for this, everyone. This community is very empowering, it's uplifting. I have never felt any sort of weird cattiness from any. I've become friends with these other title holders. So please at least join the Facebook group at the very least. If you're looking for a great uplifting community, the Queendom is where it's at. Maria, thank you so very much for being a guest today. I know what you have to say is going to ignite some fire within some women, and I know that they are going to love following you. And thank you for being my mentor.
You're very welcome. And hey, everybody, if you're not getting out of your comfort zone, you're not on the fearless and fabulous pursuit. So get out of your comfort zone, keep tuning into these episodes, and remember that wherever it is that you're looking to go, like you're the only one that's going to stop you from getting there. So get out of your comfort zone and get going.
Amen. Very well said. Thanks again. And thank you all for joining us for this wonderful episode of the Fearless and Fabulous podcast. Please keep coming back to this space. Please leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Share a link with your friends. Thank you again, Maria. We'll see you soon. Bye
Bye.
now.